Whoa!
That was perfect.
Welcome to Blockchain Basement. My name is TJ. We're gonna have some fun today. We are joined by some of your favorite cast of characters. We've got BJ on the board, Ali to my right, We got everybody's favorite neighbor, Drew, and the Nictator is back for another episode. He told me that's what you guys were calling him last week. So sorry I missed you guys on Friday. Love hanging out with my favorite crypto people. I'm not gonna lie, I would totally. Oh gosh, so would I. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna read that out.
Welcome, Big Boy Wilson.
Yeah, Big Boy Wilson, first time getting to watch the basement live. Yeah, we were waiting. We were getting ready. I don't exactly have all the stories together, but there were 69 people in the chat waiting, so we took that as a sign. We might as well push live. A lot to get into. Of course, a lot of FUD, or I don't know if you really call it FUD. A lot of craziness happening over the weekend. A lot of scary stuff in the world of crypto. Uh-oh, I'm offline.
Oh, no. A lot of first-timers in the chat.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah, love it. Love it.
Hello
I forgot to do
Texas,
an Instagram.
U.S. Army, SFCB.
Acelia 32.
See you.
So we're gonna be talking about a little. I got a thread from Will Comment saying if he had to show someone 4 charts to explain why Bitcoin is fine, he's got these 4 charts. We're gonna look at that a little bit. We're gonna dig in a little bit more into Silvergate due to some of the questions on the morning stream. I've got some pretty good graphs and charts that kind of show how everything's connected to Silvergate above Digital Currency Group and Genesis. Talk about Genesis Digital Currency Group. Talk about the FTX hacker dumping all of the stolen Ethereum that's happened. Yeah, could be SBF, could be, you know, somebody else working on his behest, or who knows, but somebody that stole a lot of that FTX money was selling it yesterday and this morning, or, you know, using it to manipulate price and going long short. They shorting Ethereum right now, likely shorting Bitcoin soon. So we're gonna look at that strategy, and then Drew, you said you've got some credit alpha for us, right?
Well, I don't know. I saw your story on the credit highs. So household credits like just gone parabolic, while savings is getting crushed below its like medium hold line that it had for a long time. I saw this coming. I saw everything in 2020 is the death of the middle class, and I think that's just playing out. It's just taking a little bit of time to play out, getting ugly. So it's Bitcoin or bugs, in my opinion, but we'll get into that as soon as we can.
Bitcoin or bugs.
So Razmataz said, who's getting scammed on the sex tape? Some straight up. Yeah, so basically I would say be very, very careful. Somebody asked me if it was out or not. I'm not sure. I haven't confirmed it for myself. I did see some people saying they saw it, but I haven't seen any screenshots. So I would think if it was real, we would have seen screenshots by now. But I will say be extremely careful clicking links for that. Especially if you've got private keys on any of your devices or a hot wallet or anything like that, it clearly is already been used allegedly to drain NFTs and apes and wallets and all that kind of stuff. So
I'll check 4chan right now.
That's not the only thing that got drained.
Ooh, don't
hey.
BJ, did you see it?
Yeah, BJ, you were supposed to be our local research here. Did you confirm?
It's phenomenal, but it's what I expected. It was like watching that scene with Frodo.
Wait,
and
it's out?
Gollum.
So you 100% saw
real?
it, like for real?
Yeah, it's literally imagine Frodo and Gollum just going at it. That's exactly what it looks like. It's
Ew.
so hot.
Are you being serious? I can't tell.
Yeah,
That's the ultimate question.
I mean, I can show you my my Amazon.
Browser history? My God.
No, my Amazon for how much Lubriderm and
well, I was even gonna say when I walked down here tonight, like BJ was the only one in here setting up for this. I walk in, I'm like, it smells like lotion in here.
Yeah, it did have
So
some.
hey, maybe
it rubs the lotion on the skin, or it gets FTX'd again.
Oh gosh. Yeah, there are people who are making jokes about the liquidations on those FTX condoms, and they hit a little bit different now. Now that we know that Alameda literally couldn't get liquidated, and those condoms said, like, you know, stops even the heaviest of liquidations or whatever. It's like, oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
So real quick, just a little bit of what's the nice way to say
Housekeeping?
No, hopium, whatever. Give you a little bit of hope. Like, yeah, it's scary out there right now. Yes, there's hackers selling a lot of Bitcoin, a lot of Ethereum. What is the price doing right this minute? We're probably under 16K, or we were.
Yeah, probably right.
Yeah, 15,984. So, I mean, here, let's pull this up real quick and just kind of give you guys a quick. I mean, it's just red across the board. Just, I mean, for those of you that want this, you know, we've got even lower for Ethereum. Wow, under 1,100.
Yep, got my short in.
You think we see sub 1,000 ETH today?
I think it'll flash to triples,
and then get
come
bought
back
up immediately.
Come
yeah,
up,
you think there's probably some big buy orders
huge.
right under those levels.
Is.
But yeah, it's just setting in. You know, 7% on the 24-hour, and really you can see. We'll go ahead and pull this up. Get the 7-day. This is yesterday morning. Oh, I always do this with us. Let's see if I can.
Sweet,
the
I'm buying
hidden
today.
bot.
Look, man, buying on a red day is not bad. I mean, unlike TJ, everything I say is financial advice, but like if it's like that's literally what Warren Buffett says. You buy red and sell green.
Yeah,
Like,
you definitely want to buy on a red day.
Yeah.
That is financial advice. Buy when the price is low. So this is yesterday morning, obviously, when the
Wow.
dumping started. I mean, you could see almost immediately when there's low volume, these things have pretty quick impact, which I think we talked about it on here. It might have just been a conversation with Ben and I, but the problem is when you're sitting on this much Bitcoin or Ethereum and there's low volume and low liquidity on things on mixers like Tornado Cash or Bitcoin mixers, it's very hard to withdraw or extract this money without people seeing. So if you're a hacker and you've got stolen funds, you're very limited on the options that you have available to actually take profits, so to speak. So one theory a lot of people were getting at is you can use the stolen Ethereum to dump on markets and manipulate the price, have your own private accounts that are legit, that are set up in advance of those moves. You go short, dump, you take the profit over here, and then you can just rinse and repeat a handful of times until you're out of Ethereum, and then you do the same thing for Bitcoin.
That's big brain.
That's what a lot of people are alluding to happening today is what's going on, and estimating we will see him move on to Bitcoin fairly soon. So Twitter recap of the day: FTX hackers sold 50K ETH and moved it to BTC via Ren. A guy from the block explained how to launder money. Genesis may have contributed to the Luna collapse. DCG might be at risk. Solana NFT traders have no idea any of this is going on, and they're trading Lily. Yeah. So that's just a little snapshot of where we were yesterday afternoon. So here, let's look and see what Will has to say. Good, kind of on-chain analyst, trader. Newer to Bitcoin, I would say. He's definitely not new to trading, but newer to Bitcoin. I think he came in. He's young. He's like 19 or 20, I believe, came in this cycle. Very, very smart. But he said, if I had to show someone 4 charts to explain why Bitcoin is fine, 1 and 2, long-term holders are doubling down. We started to look at this a little bit on Friday. Despite being the most underwater they've ever been, long-term holder supply is up to all-time highs. So that would be this chart here, total supply and loss held by long-term holders. So we're peaking. Even though the price is dropping, long-term holders are spending even more. Let's see what the second chart was. Total supply held by long-term holders, 30-day moving average. So again, still going up long-term holding, meaning people that have been in crypto the longest, kind of like to what Nick was just saying, are accumulating and buying right now. It's something to look at. Blocks continue to be added, which is just, health of the network. Every block getting mined, the chain's getting longer, and active addresses making higher lows.
Difficulty went up today.
Did it?
Yeah,
Yes.
Interesting.
And the miners are about to capitulate so hard right now.
We've got a little bit on that as well too. Miners are definitely feeling the pressure. Here's number of active addresses. Obviously, you can see the price run up kind of comes right before you see an active addresses. So here's a big price spike. Here's a bunch of new addresses. Squeeze, get skinny, Brian. We know you're skinny. Sorry, Brian's stuck behind the TV. I wish you guys could see right now.
He's gonna unplug it.
I know those shoes. I know those legs.
5, 4.
There's very few. It takes a Florida man to wear shorts and a jacket in November in Georgia. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
But anyway, you can see obviously when the price runs up, the active addresses do the same. But you can see here, even with price going down, we're still seeing growth in new addresses, which is right here that they're referring to right at the very end. This is very bullish, really, to see active addresses increasing while price is falling.
Absolutely.
So that'll make you feel a little bit better. All right, now we're gonna freak you out. Here's what what happened over the weekend.
Let's go. What's the safe word?
There is no safe word in crypto, unfortunately.
We're
in
going
crypto, the only safe word.
the
only safe word in crypto is liquidate.
I know the safe word. I know the safe word.
What is it?
Solana, because it needs to stop.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Well, it's not. You're not feeling. It's not feeling safe if you're in Solana right now.
No.
So, the FTX hacker can't withdraw the 270 million ETH without being tracked. So what does he do? He dumps it all on an illiquid day Sunday into a pool with low liquidity, Ren BTC, while max shorting ETH with private accounts. Next, he'll probably dump the Ren BTC while max shorting Bitcoin. So
that is from Alameda. Like, that is what Alameda does. That's their playbook.
Right. That's how they would manipulate assets, basically go short. And that's what they've been doing this whole market, basically trying to short the whole market. I don't know if we showed it here or not, but there's a pretty interesting chart that showed long to short exposure on the different exchanges. And it was pretty much all short on FTX, and it was a pretty reasonable mix across the board on the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
The goal is to capture max price movement as many times as possible as he can and clean up his untracked accounts. If the market capitulates, he gets to buy back his ETH even cheaper. Then he gets to repeat the process again. So that's something important. Like if you say he's dumping it down to 1,000 to make this money, and then the market really wrecks, it goes all the way back, but he's already cleared out at 1,000 and it wrecks down to 700. He gets to scoop even more. The price comes up and he can do it all over again. So this is happening. This is the way people manipulate markets. This is something important to point out. I think there's a trade-off in an open free market. This is what you have to deal with. And to me, I would welcome this to have an open free market. The problem is when you have an illusion of a free market and everyone out there is basically, you have safeguards in place to protect the big people, and you don't have the free market, which is kind of what the open stock market is, where you're always, when there's money to be made, people are going to be using every tool they can to make as much money as possible. So this is just one of those tools. Question for TJ: do you think NEAR is dropping harder than other coins because of connection to FTX? Yes, I absolutely agree with that. I wish I should have saved it. I was looking at a thread over the weekend from somebody doing an analysis on projects associated with FTX. NEAR was one of them that they were holding a lot of, and it's probably having to get liquidated right now just to cover assets and all that sort of stuff. So don't want to FUD NEAR. Don't want to say NEAR is a bad project, but I do think it is getting not attacked, but it's feeling the pain due to its connection to FTX and SBF. Yeah. Absolutely.
That's a big thing. Like, people get really sad when they hear that their project is connected to this FTX fallout. It's like, I don't feel like these projects are like nefariously meaning to be connected with everything that FTX is doing. It just became such a power player in the market so quickly and had such big institutions, apparently behind it and advertising. It looked like a safe bet. Here we are, just kind of finding out the details.
Yeah, safest USDC chain. I mean, is that you're talking about chain to send USDC out? I mean, Ethereum is, Polygon's fine. Yeah, Polygon's okay. Riddle with Pun said it shouldn't matter. USDC is redeemable regardless of the chain. Yeah, I don't really understand that question. Safest chain for USDC, but
the cheapest is Tron.
Tron, yeah,
because like Tron Tether is like the cheapest way to send stable coins for sure.
Will you like NEAR better once they are done dumping, or would you just not touch it at all?
Yeah, once they're done dumping. And so that was something somebody else asked about. We were talking about Theta this morning, right? And we're in the depths of a bear market, which is first time here. Welcome. The original D-Day. Oh. Nice.
Welcome.
I thought I said original daddy at first, and I was like, oh, that's an aggressive name. But look, in a bear market, you want to be careful with altcoins because they always are on the cusp of another 50% breakdown. Even if you're already down 80%, 85%, 90%, they can go 95, they can go 97. So I'm waiting and watching with a lot of alts, especially lower alts in like NEAR, like Theta. Like if you liked NEAR and say, oh, it's got good tech, I want to keep an eye on it, but it just got destroyed because of this Alameda collapse, then just keep an eye on it. And if it's still doing well a year from now when we're starting to get a confirmed uptrend and you still like the tech and it still seems viable, go back in. But be very careful going super hard on alts that are down 97% and start doing that math. Oh, if they just get back to all-time highs, I'm going to make X, Y, and Z. It can be true, but from what I've seen, some of the newer, hotter stuff is generally... What? Are you going to give me some headroom or drop it down a little bit? Oh. White balance? I look pretty white. I don't know. I'm pretty balanced.
Yeah.
So this is something... I made the same mistake in 2018 and 2019. You just kept buying your same dead alt projects, and then you realized when 2020 came, the things that started coming up, oh, wait, there's this new smart contract, oh, this new Solana thing, this new Polkadot thing, this new Cosmos thing, this new... what else was I buying back? I mean, Matic was new back then. And so like a lot of those that came out in 2019, early 2020, that's what blew up in 2020, 2021. ADA is one that did come back and recover. You do have a handful of, alts that stay up at the top, but generally speaking, I like to look for new projects going into a confirmed uptrend. So, just keep that in the back of your mind. Another one that was supposedly in that same category in a different quadrant, I guess you could say, is DCG, Digital Currency Group. A lot of people looking at them in the hot seat right now with what's going on with Genesis Global, one of their subsidiaries. And Digital Currency Group owns supposedly a ton of HBAR. They hold a lot of HBAR.
Oh, wow.
That's another one that kind of like nothing wrong with HBAR, but if Digital Currency Group is in a liquidity crunch and they have to sell assets to cover a hole, just keep your eyes open on what these big players are holding. So,
TJ, can you explain for the children at home why the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust is cheaper than the actual price of Bitcoin?
Because they really need people to buy Bitcoin right now.
But like someone, because like Will Clement, I think said, okay, so I can like, there's no downside to buying the Bitcoin Trust GBTC right now because it's less than 10K. So I get 10K Bitcoin. Is that true? Like, I don't know. I don't understand why it's cheaper than the price of Bitcoin.
It runs at a discount or a premium based on supply and demand is the concept, so like in the bull market, the demand on it's really, really, really high. The main, I would say, advantage of the GBTC trust is it's a trust that people can move funds that are maybe in an IRA or a tax sheltered vehicle that they can't necessarily just withdraw and market buy Bitcoin with because they've got it in a 401k, an IRA, or something that's tax sheltered. So they can use tax sheltered assets to buy shares of this trust. And this trust has an agreement that says basically we're going to if you buy these shares, we're going to go buy Bitcoin for it 1-to-1. So in a bull market, that's obviously really, really high demand. You're paying more than the price of Bitcoin to do that. In a bear market, they have a discount where they're trying to incentivize people to use their product. So you can get it for cheaper than the price of Bitcoin and take that advantage. The difference is it's a custodian, right? You're trusting that they are going to custody your funds, and in exchange, you'll be able to withdraw it at a 1-to-1 price for the Bitcoin, which was part of the big, I wouldn't say confusion, but definitely part of the discussion on Twitter this weekend because Grayscale came out. I'll see if I can pull that tweet up real quick. Grayscale came out over the weekend, and everyone's like, oh, we want proof of reserves. We want to know, are you backed 1-to-1 for what's in the Grayscale trust? Because they use Coinbase as their custody partner. And Grayscale basically said, we can't show it because of the way Coinbase does their...
That's some naughty talk.
Yeah, it was not reassuring. I will say that much.
Yeah.
Let's see.
There was a quick question. Someone asked, if you move your coins to a ledger, does that count as a taxable event? I would imagine not.
No, it does not. It does not count as a taxable event. I'm not a tax professional. I'm not an attorney. You cannot quote me on that. Do not use that as legal advice, but it does not count.
So when
generally speaking, according to my knowledge in this jurisdiction in the state of Georgia and Atlanta in this basement.
Bam.
Don't come after me. Let's see. Each of Grayscale's address is probably set up on a separate legal. I'm trying to find where one of these tweets.
Something in me tells me Barry wishes that his spot ETF was approved for the
Okay, so that's the other thing that gets all this into. So Grayscale's in the middle of a lawsuit with the SEC right now over not getting a spot BTC trust approved. So that just throws a whole nother wrench in all of this. But somewhere in here, Coinbase frequently performs on-chain validation due to, here it is. Due to security concerns, we do not make such on-chain wallet information and confirmation information publicly available through cryptographic proof of reserve or other advanced cryptographic accounting procedures. So basically,
security concerns, like us knowing you're lying.
Well, that's the problem. That's what a lot of people are saying. Like, what security concern could possibly be there with sharing your addresses? They basically come out and said they've had this stuff in place for years. Where's the
due to security?
Barry Suss says source. Trust me, bro.
Yeah, trust me, bro. I mean, that's the thing. A lot of people aren't liking, that's again the dreaded vote of confidence when they come out and make those statements. But we do have, and I've thought what was very interesting throughout all of this is Coinbase has been very quiet. Gemini has been very quiet until and Kraken. Luckily now Jesse Powell's starting to speak out, which I appreciate. But we were talking a little bit about last week about how they could potentially be not complicit, but if Sam's plan had worked, it would have been great for Coinbase. It would have been great for Kraken. So like, just let them go through with it. It's going to be good for our businesses. But now they are starting to step up because they could eliminate a lot of these fears pretty quickly. I feel like. So a lot of people were concerned with, do they actually have the funds? Are they backed 1-to-1? Because they were supposed to have like 600,000 plus Bitcoin, billions of dollars. And Coinbase has come out and confirmed it now. So Coinbase custody has revealed the amount held in Grayscale product as of September 30th, which again, a lot's happened since September 30th. These are kind of quarterly numbers. That was something funny. Somebody said, like, imagine running a crypto company and then you're having to do quarterly reportings and quarterly disclosures. And it's like, we're just right back at where we started with traditional finance. But
and Chemistry Bro posted something. Maybe that's what you're
check
looking
this
for.
out.
Coinbase Grayscale home. It's probably, yeah, it's this is this tweet I have up right here. This Blockworks group.
Buttons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chemistry Bro, stay in your lane.
No, he's good. I love Chemistry Bro. Bring it. You know, like, look, I'm just one step ahead of you. That's okay. If you're only one step behind me, you know, stick around.
We're there.
You know, maybe come work here.
Just not when he's
There you
crop
go.
dusting.
I don't do that. That's you, BJ.
It
Yeah.
is.
Coinbase custody has revealed the amount held in each Grayscale product as of, again, this is still quite some time ago, but it's not too bad. You know, like no cold addresses were shared, so they didn't necessarily show this where we could confirm on chain, but they are holding 635,235 Bitcoin, approximately 10.2 billion in Bitcoin, approximately 3.4 billion worth of Ethereum, you know, a little over 3 million ETH.
That Bitcoin Cash Trust.
Yeah, let's see. Where's that? Bitcoin Cash Trust, 310 BCH. They've got the Zcash Trust. Ethereum Classic Trust still very high. Litecoin, Horizon, Stellar, Filecoin. You know, so all of these. And then here's their large cap fund. 6,300 Bitcoin, 40,000 ETH. ADA, Solana's AVAX getting crushed. Decentraland, Chainlink, Basic Attention Token, Live Peer Trust,
So this is
Solana.
the list of everything that's going to dump.
This is the list of everything that Grayscale holds in a trust right now, and Coinbase has confirmed they are holding all of these tokens at a 1-to-1.
Like
custody.
11
don't have-
YFI.
They don't have that much ADA. 11 million.
No.
That's it.
Where in the
So
large
it's like 1 million.
A million ADA. So
Oh.
11 million
11
ADA,
million.
yeah. And now this isn't just
not
the
much.
large cap fund.
Yeah.
So they might. I don't know if they did they have one
There was
just for
more down
Cardano.
there.
Yeah,
they do not have.
Drew
They do
has
not have
more
a
ADA than
Cardano
that.
one.
Barely. I have like
Chainlink,
Barely.
Basic
They
Attention.
only have trust for what's up top.
Yeah, these are all just funds.
Going.
X Ethereum
There.
fund, another 1.2 ADA.
I got
Yeah.
some.
Yeah, so it's interesting to look at. Very heavy Bitcoin, very heavy Ethereum. But so these obviously. Corey.
Thanks, Corey.
What a nut, Corey. You still got to come hang out at some point.
Wow.
Oh gosh,
Corey simping.
it just hit me. Somebody sent me a message over the weekend talking about getting an mutant ape stolen in a wallet and blah blah blah. I'm like, I wonder if they were clicking on that link to that video.
Hell yeah.
It all comes makes sense.
I'm not going to tell your wife, Michael.
Michael in the chat.
Yeah,
F
it
for
just hit me. I
Michael.
told him he could come by and we'll try to help him figure it out. He thinks he got hacked or something. He can't figure
Oh
it
yeah,
out. But
definitely.
Also, to be on topic, would the basement be interested if we did the basement bath water? Like, can we sell that?
Oh, selling bath
basement
water
bathwater.
as an NFT or like actual vials of.
So like
TJ's
what?
bath-
We're all going to go take a bath together.
together. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is
Who
simple.
wants to buy that?
Simple bear market
I
activity.
mean, we should just do it. In case
You know it's a
somebody
bear market when
does
you're selling
whatever.
bathwater.
Do a +1 in the chat if you would buy TJ's bathwater.
All of us. Okay,
Don't
that was
anyone-
really
Do a
Don't
close.
touch your
+2. Do a
keyboard.
+2 in the chat if you
What's
would buy
next?
all
Farts
of
in a
our
jar?
bath
Yeah.
waters.
We're not.
Just all of our testicle tea in a little cup.
Taco
For
said
you.
plus 100.
+1.
Minus one. Thank
We
you.
have a
Taco.
buyer. We should do it.
-1. I don't like how this is trending.
What?
Yeah.
A lot of +2s, obviously.
Hell
He drank
yeah.
it. Crypto Thorn would drink it. Does BJ Baines? No.
I was gonna say, when was the last time you took a bath? Just
Uh,
getting hosed off doesn't count.
A bath?
I don't like baths because you're just bathing in your own schmutz.
We just delouse him when he shows up at the office in the morning.
Ooh, D-Louse in the Comatorium. That was a good album.
Yeah.
It
Anyway.
seems like Grayscale is kind of betting on an uptrend here with that kind of.
Everyone
discount.
is.
Yeah. The first thing that struck me when we were going over their numbers is like they're definitely banking on this market coming back from the discount. that's being
Yeah.
offered.
Where's Raven Boy Crypto?
Yeah, where's Raven Boy, our miner boy? I thought that was
Yeah.
you in the chat for
He's
such a
like
long
my
time.
#1 simp in
It
this
is
chat.
Nick.
No, it's really not me. I'm in the chat right now, but I am not Ravenboy Crypto.
Any suspect chatter you see is definitely.
Is this the basement seg tape? It could be if you stick around long enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if once the bear market gets deep enough, you never know.
We'll start taking shots.
Yeah, you never know. Might be if we're still here in 2024.
See?
That's
you
true.
know, I guess it'll be the 2026, 2027 bear market's going to be brutal. People are going to be so wrecked.
Yeah, they are.
I'm trying to find, if anybody has it in the chat, feel free to drop it in there. I'm trying to find the link. I had found it earlier. Digital Currency Group's crypto holdings.
Oh, their portfolio?
Yeah, their actual portfolio, not their subsidiary portfolio. I have that.
Oh.
You know, like for those of you who don't know, just to give a quick recap here, Digital Currency Group is one of the largest crypto conglomerates, you could say, where they own or invest parts in so many different things. Abra, Kala, AP1 or API 3. I always want to say AP 13. You know, Bitflyer, BitGo, completely acquired, Bitmark, BitPay.
They own
Blockstat,
blockchain.
Blockstream. They own blockchain. I'm sure that's blockchain.info or blockchain.com. Boost VC, which is Draper Jr.
MetaMask.
Brave.
Yep.
And that's just through B. I mean, you got Cambridge blockchain. And it just keeps going and going. Chainalysis, Circle, Civic, Coinbase, CoinDesk. Which this was the funny thing is they own this company that released the information. They were very invested in FTX. Obviously, that's why I wanted to look. They held a lot of FTT, which is another thing that it really becomes the linchpin in all of this. Is if everybody's putting FTT at a certain price point of billions of dollars on their balance sheet, and then all of a sudden it just wipes to zero, it's going to cause balance sheet problems in a lot of different places. CoinJar, CoinList, CoinMe. Let's see, what are some other big ones?
Nikudo,
Dapper Labs.
Yeah, Dapper Labs. That's
Flow,
big.
which is Flow blockchain to keep an eye on. Decentraland, which you can see they had a trust for. So LivePeer and Decentraland, they both had a trust for. LivePeer, I believe. Is LivePeer attached to Dapper Labs? I can't remember.
I don't know.
Might stand alone.
Dapper is Google,
Etherscan,
right?
eToro.
Etherscan? That's sketch.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It
So
doesn't.
for King Cryptic, I am not in defeat. I can verify that 1,000%.
And here's the big one: FTX.
Oof.
Yeah, obviously worthless now. They were a large investor. That Genesis. This is the other big one that's now
And
basically
Grayscale.
it's got a $1 billion hole in Grayscale. And so from what I understand,
Gosh.
the scary part about this Genesis thing is I think what happened, and this don't quote me on this. This is just what I've seen on Twitter. Digital Currency Group stepped in to fill that $1 billion hole for Genesis and basically now have a $1 billion hole on their balance sheet. The issue is they can't just declare bankruptcy for Genesis and wipe that off their balance sheet if Genesis is insolvent. Because the parent, if they're the parent, they would have to consolidate all of their, if DCG is bankrupt, they have to consolidate all their assets first, meaning Grayscale, which again, completely solvent, completely in good shape. They have all the coins they're supposed to have. They might all have to get market sold to cover the insolvency of this other sister company, basically. Which that scenario would be very, very bad. As we all know, they were over the weekend trying to raise another $1 billion. From what we're hearing, it's been a lot of crickets. No real takers. Nobody's really jumping on funding this next $1 billion.
Yikes.
That being said, a lot of the people that would be considering doing it, obviously they're not going to be able to come out and talk about it too much necessarily. But it is concerning that you're hearing all negative stuff, nothing positive, and it's just another major player at risk of collapsing here. But let me ask you this. How bad of an impact, if Grayscale was to go, how much of an impact do you think in real market pricing we would feel in the short term, Nick?
It depends on what DCG offloads.
Good point.
If they offload Bitcoin, it is gonna be a free for all. Like very, very bad. Like we're talking 10K Bitcoin. Easy.
Okay.
If they offload a bunch of ETH or like ETH Classic or something else like that, very, very blunted. Like it'll be a quarter of as bad. The market cap will go down by maybe 10%. But yeah, if they offload it all in Bitcoin, the market cap will go down by 30% or more.
I feel your razzmatazz. He says, I've been trying to raise $1 billion too. Got to tell you, it ain't that easy. Let me know how it goes.
What's $1 billion between
that guy on
friends?
TikTok just says to make $1 billion, you take an $8 billion company and sell it for $9 billion. It's literally that simple.
Or if you want to do it like Sam, you make a $40 billion company and just withdraw it to yourself and let the rest just run into the ground.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
that's one way to do it.
So that's it. What do you think? What do you think, Drew?
Yeah, I was gonna say. So basically, your worst case scenario is Bitcoin 10K.
I think there's so much buy pressure below 10K. Like it may wick down below it, but I mean, Michael Saylor would sell everything to buy 10K Bitcoin.
Yeah, he'd have to because he
El
doesn't want to go
Salvador-
on that
yeah.
low either.
Yeah. El Salvador would buy a gazillion. You're talking about nation states getting in under 10K. And I think there's just too much buy pressure, too much upward momentum at that level.
Drew, what do you think?
I want to disagree just for sport, but I can't. I'm thinking like, 9K is what comes to mind. And if they have to offload all their Bitcoin holdings, it would be, but like Nick says, I mean, a lot of people have said that to themselves since they saw it go beyond the 10K and up into the realms it did last bull run, that there's enough interest in, below 10K Bitcoin to hoist it up, I think. Tether, another story.
Oof.
But, I don't want to
I
see
think
both
that
of
would
those
be
go.
like
3.
that would be the apocalyptic scenario.
Yeah.
I tend to agree with you. What do you think, Allie? What do you think price point wise? If Grayscale folds, how low do you think Bitcoin can go in the near term?
I think a lot of, I don't know exactly how this affects what would happen, but I know a lot of boomers hold their Bitcoin on Grayscale,
That is very true.
and including my dad. I tried to tell him, but
Did you just call your dad a boomer?
Shots fired.
well,
Yeah.
it's fact. But so I think that, but I agree with Nick. I don't think it would go much below 10,000. Just find that hard to imagine.
Interesting. What about BJ? Thoughts?
So I don't know because I'm dumb and don't know these answers. But yeah, I think there's so many people who would buy it up, like just right off the bat. Like I know people who want to stay a mile away from Bitcoin, and they were like, if it goes below 12, I would buy it. So you go sub 10, I think there's so many people who are going to buy that. Plus, it's like I feel like, not to say it's baked in, but a lot of people are potentially expecting this. So I think a lot of people are armed and ready to take advantage of this if it were to happen.
Yeah, I agree. I think all of you guys gave really good takes. The chat's pretty much agreeing with you guys. The other Kenny, oh man, good thing you're the other Kenny.
Oh, no.
FTX just collapsed, but BTC only dropped 2 to 3K. I think that's a huge point. Like this was a major crash in the price impact. Yeah, it's been painful, but it hasn't been nearly what it could have been. Somebody else up there said, 10K is extremely bullish. They said they don't think Grayscale is going to market dump their BTC because that would just kind of like be attacking yourself, which I tend to agree with. So it sounds like pretty well consensus that 10K is going to be the general macro bottom, which I think is a good price point. I think this is a good thing to keep in mind because yes, things are scary out there, but the impact to the price is becoming less and less as time goes on. So Benjamin Cowan tweeted this, another good account, another good YouTuber, really good on-chain analysis. He says, as we get closer to the end of the bear, meaning the end of the bear market. Yeah, I saw that.
Good job.
That was
That's good.
cheeky there,
He
BJ.
snuck
It was
in.
smooth. Yes.
The drama can be distracting from you actually making good decisions. And this is really important. Like there's a chance we're at the bottom right now. I don't think we're at the exact bottom. It seems like some of this stuff needs to play out before we, the miners capitulating, which we'll touch on in just a second. Some of that needs to play out before we can clearly call a bottom. And obviously you can't call a bottom until you have a confirmed uptrend. So definitely don't have that yet. But it's starting to feel on a macro level. I mean, we've been predicting this date, for basically a week from today as the bottom for months and months and months. So it's feeling like we're getting close. If the difference between say 14 and 12, 14 and 10 is not percentage wise, it's dramatic, but time wise, it's not that dramatic in my opinion. So I feel like it's good to keep reminding ourselves that as we get closer to the bottom, there's going to be a lot of drama.
Yeah.
And it's going to be very distracting. It's going to be very scary. And I feel like we're starting to get that level of fear, that level of drama to where you are starting to see people saying like, I'm done with this crypto stuff. Question for Nick from Chemistry Bro. When miners capitulate, some will leave, right? And so difficulty will go down. And so does that bring cost per BTC mine down too if difficulty comes down?
Yes.
Yes.
That is
the cycle.
That's the math. And going to Ben Cowan's point and your point, TJ, like case in point, I heard whispers that Gemini was having some problems. I saw that they were on the list of, FTX. They were in this FTX mess. And so I pulled up all my money out of the Earn account on Gemini, and I had it just as dry powder. And I kept on thinking to myself, I'll wait. But Bitcoin was at 16K. And eventually I just had to say, what am I doing? Like, buy the Bitcoin.
You waited like 10 minutes.
If you keep on waiting, if I keep on waiting, you'll wait and it may not never get to 10K. And then you're a chump, right? So like all of this stuff that's happening right now, none of it has to do with blockchain. All of it has to do with people who say they were crypto people acting like TradFi.
This is fraud.
So yeah, the underlying technology is still firm, and there's nothing really that's the only people are freaking out are people are going to lose their money because they were stupid.
Yep.
Us, the holders, we know what's going on.
Accumulators, right?
Yeah.
Long-term.
Yeah,
people. That was what we were looking at the beginning. The long-term holders, they're not scared.
Nope.
They're doing exactly what Nick just said. This is an opportunity. I'm gonna increase my stack. I'm gonna level up. So that's what you want to be doing. And then Riddled with Puns made a really good point. Always bring in the alpha. Binance had the largest weekly volume candle during all this FTX drama, and price didn't drop as much as when Elon tweeted in the bull market. That means there was a lot of buying at these price levels, which is great.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is this the bottom? Yay or nay? Okay, cool. We have a poll in the chat saying if this is the bottom. Let us know what you think. We've got about 90% saying no. First time live in the basement. Welcome, Manly Crypto. Welcome to have you here. And if you guys see this anywhere else, if you're seeing any of the clips or other places, we go live on Twitch at 1:15 Monday through Friday. So come join us here so we can answer your questions. I love all the Q&A in the chat. And if you want to get your questions answered, this is the place to do it. Twitch.tv/bitboy_crypto. Monday through Friday.
Corey Harden asked, why is the fear and greed index not lower right now? It got to like a 7 or something stupid during the Luna stuff.
That's a great question. We looked at that last Friday. I don't understand it either. The only thing I can think, and I don't know what goes into that metric as far as, I don't know how they come up with that number.
I think it has to do with the VIX,
which is
the
Paper rub?
Yes. No, it's a measure of the volatility of the markets.
Yes.
So that has been going down. So when the VIX is down, people are not expecting a lot of volatility right now. And I think it tracks. I think the VIX is a data point for the fear and greed index.
It is. It's if it is, VIX is the view on the volatility over the last 30 days. So that would be part of it. What I was going to say is just the pure boredom.
Yeah.
You're not having the giant. Yes, it's scarier now, but it's not as scary to the retail as 69 to 40.
Nice.
Like that's a scarier drop than from 40 to 30 for whatever reason, even though it shouldn't be.
The people in the chat are saying it's fake, trash, manipulated BS.
The
Whoa.
fear and greed index? Based on what? I mean, could be. It's still pretty. I don't know what goes into it. I'm always interested to take a look at it. I don't trade on it. I just like looking like, hey, are we at peak fear right now? Are we at peak? But I was shocked that when I pulled it up the other day, it wasn't lower. It was like in the 20s or 30s, and I felt like you were saying, should have been at like 11, or single digits.
5 during Luna, and then it's been slowly ticking up since Luna.
I think because Luna shook out all the rest of retail.
Right. Yeah, that's what Corey saying, because there's less retail. Yes, less retail and less volatility, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like there's less attention on it, so there's less people to freak out. Most of the fearful people are already gone. Like we were saying, the long-term holders, we ain't scared. We're buying this dip.
Dumb money's out right now. If you're here, if you're in crypto, you're smart money. Straight up. Financial advice.
Hamburger.
Okay, well, speaking of minor capitulation, let's pull this graph up. I haven't looked at it too much, but I'm sure Nick the miner can break it down with us. It's a Bitcoin miner bloodbath out there.
Yep.
Most aggressive miner selling seen in almost 7 years now, up 400% in just 3 weeks. If price doesn't go up soon, we're going to see a lot of Bitcoin miners out of business. So here is the, let's see if we can see what these...
I mean, if you want something that's
Bitcoin to dollar 1 day on Coinbase. So this is the price going across the top. I guess this band under here is the miners selling.
Yeah.
And so we're seeing obviously up here. Hold on, see if we can push in on that.
I thought Team USA just lost to the UK.
Did we really?
The World Cup, Wales about to get wrecked by Team USA. Let's go. Maybe he's in the past.
Oh.
Let's see.
World Cup going down. Maybe Algo will get a breath of fresh air.
England, Stage B, 2 p.m. No, it's starting right now.
Okay.
All right.
Guys,
Never mind.
who cares about the World Cup? Hang out and watch this with us.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Let me come. Where did it go? So, oh, that's not.
Wait,
right,
isn't
sure.
Wales different than UK?
It is.
It depends on who you ask.
That's
I was gonna
true.
say. Well, I just typed. This is England, so there you go.
Wales.
We'll just say England.
Is Wales England?
No.
I think it is.
Wales, England,
is
Scotland.
The UK.
Wales, England, Scotland.
Yep.
Wales is in the
Corey
UK.
Harden is
I can't
in,
keep up. It's
Corey
Wales
Harden
was
is in
part
the
of
UK,
England.
and he said Wales is part of the UK.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, but not part of England.
Well, that's Redcoat FUD. I'm just saying.
I just read the chat, guys. Don't blame me. I read the chat. I pulled it up.
All have their own teams. Yeah, but should they? Chemistry, bro.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, everyone in America can vote, but should they?
Oh wait, maybe it was chemistry, bro.
I'm
That's
not
in
in
the
the
in the UK.
I'm gonna go get Justin if
Sorry.
you keep this up.
All right, we're not here to do geography. We're here to look at Bitcoin miners selling all their Bitcoin. So here's where the price dips below the selling region, and then you see big spike and sell here. Basically, people planning on this, and then if we're looking here, big spikes here, and like basically this region right here is what they're referring to.
Yeah,
That's a huge amount of selling when you look back over the course of time. Obviously, back in here.
Yep.
Which was into the 2017 run up. That makes sense. like basically pure selling into the bull market. I mean, you can see generally speaking, they're selling into bull markets and, and accumulating in bear markets. They've just been in trying not to sell here sideways. So they're still selling now into a bear market, which they don't want to have to be doing. And then when you get to this point, they wanted to be able to hold through all of this so they can be selling when it's going back up again. So this is what we're talking about, minor capitulation. This is what starts to shake out. If you want to be on around the blockchain, you got to email this guy. Where do they email for around the blockchain?
You got to send nudes first, though.
Cup of noodles.
Yeah, yeah.
Or ATB show at bitboycrypto.com.
There you go. ATB show at bitboycrypto.com if you want to do that. Send a link to all your socials.
And your seed phrase.
We'll check it out. Yeah.
Please no nudes. Please don't.
No, noodles. What
I said cup of noodles.
Okay, yeah, you can send me.
You can send pho?
Only the good ones though, not that cup of ramen bear market stuff.
No.
Yeah, I mean, so I forgot who asked it earlier. If we're experiencing this minor capitulation, a lot of the smaller mining operations are going to be forced either to mine at a loss, and they're running. If they can't do that for much longer, they're going to be forced to turn their miners off, more or less, which does drop the difficulty, which does drop the cost to mine, so it does adjust itself. But generally speaking, it's that point of tension between the miners and the Bitcoin price where it gets to that point where the smaller ones have to capitulate that we start the cycle back over again. We start moving back up. We get close, that's that sideways, nothing happens next year. And we generally will probably sit close to the price point it costs to produce a Bitcoin until the next halving. That's generally what I've seen that happens in bear markets. You get the speculation on the front end, you get the shakeout, the capitulation washes everybody else. You go sideways for that year. That generally trades close to real value of the mining of the Bitcoin. Halving comes, the price goes up, and you start the whole cycle over again. So I think that's most likely what we're going to have. Over leveraged miners, bull markets equals upgrade power, bear market equals buy miner contracts from all the over leveraged miners. Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, that's true for trading too. Over leveraged buyers get shaken out by the slow and steady buyers that have cash on hand. You're looking at big businesses that were using a lot of leverage to grow quickly. They're getting shaken out right now. And the people that have a lot of bankroll and balance, they're coming in, scooping it up for pennies on the dollar. And that's generally how you see empires get built. Big money. And that's why I think nation states are the ones kind of profiting the most from what we're seeing in this bear market, kind of like institutions did last bear market.
What do you guys, is it possible that we see like a Shell or Exxon or some, large player in power take advantage of this time frame? That's what's in the back of my mind. It's like, what if we see, Shell or
I was saying, I had heard Exxon, some major oil power company is somewhat involved with Bitcoin mining, either indirectly or directly. I don't know if it's...
I'm talking going full ham, following White House directives, setting up their methane gas capture and just, actually making the power industry.
Shell said they're exploring it.
Yeah, and I've seen that they're exploring it, but I'm talking like this might be the moment where we see a transition into what Nick's been bringing up, nation state.
Somebody planting their flag saying we're going for it. Yeah, I could see once... I really think next year is going to be a big year for regulation and them coming down and putting a framework out there. And once that's done in the United States, I think we will see some major private party players going to make those moves, whether it's mining, probably is mining, because we know it's all energy focused the direction of kind of the world in a lot of different ways. It's very focused on energy consumption, spread of energy, who produces it, how you produce it, and Bitcoin and crypto is going to be right in the middle of all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So
it always has
There's
been.
Raven Boy.
This world has
Raven
always
boy.
been directed by, who's got the energy, how can we
Yep.
use it, which country's got the next squeeze. Think about the time frame when spices were discovered.
Yeah, well, you want to know where the next war is going to be? Look where the biggest deposits of rare earth minerals are, because that's where you make magnets and that's where you make batteries.
So where is it?
China and Africa.
Incorrect. Well,
And Chile, Argentina.
well, are we leaving lithium out of this?
We're leaving lithium.
we're
out.
leaving
I'm talking
the
about rare
lithium triangle
earths,
out of it.
like so they can make that nickel, cobalt, foam stuff for the batteries.
That's why I feel like it's a technological arms race, and what we're seeing in Ukraine is just a proxy beginning of everything to come from that. And he who has the chips will win in 10 years. That's what I see.
Derek Alien Taco said, Nick, what's your thoughts on space heaters that mine Bitcoin?
Derek should be blocked. Yeah, I do not respond to any comments from Taco.
Space heaters at mine Bitcoin.
He asked like 3 times.
sounds like a helium.
Send
miner.
me a link. I want one for my chickens.
You mean
They're all space heaters, bro.
Yeah.
Miner is a space.
Have you gotten
Exactly.
near 3090 before?
Yeah. I have like 7 5700 XTs in my living room warming my house as we speak.
Somebody said JPMorgan exchange, true or false?
True.
I think it's true that they're
Yeah,
exploring
didn't we say that the other
and
day?
coming out with it. I don't think it's released or operable yet, but I know that they're working on it. They're working on the JPM coin.
Yeah, they announced the big thing today is they registered a cryptocurrency trademark.
Cryptologic, heat your house in the winter with 8 RTX 3070s. That's an expensive heater, but go you.
I don't see it right now. I think that is, yes, that's an inevitability. Whether it's, I could see it being JPMorgan. They have the best understanding of it. Basically, they're going to step into the role that FTX was supposed to play.
Yep.
Now, since they fumbled the ball so bad, they're going to need another major player to step in. Oh, JPMorgan, we already trust them, blah, 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 blah. It's so interesting, the people that have been talking about all this stuff. I saw Bill Ackman came out and made a pretty softball comment about SBF, like, oh, it's great that he's taking responsibility.
Yeah.
Is that what's happening? I don't know. Sorry, I got hot. I don't think that's what's happening at all. Like, he's just...
Delusional?
What happened to the Solana I bought at $30? It's gone. I sold it. Unfortunately, I got very lucky. Any Solana that I held, oh, thanks, T Salty. Any Solana that I held, I just through happenstance sold it a few weeks before any of this stuff happened. So swapped all Solana to Algo
Ooh, smart.
in favor of AJ.
Yeah.
The question is, who's going to start buying up all the Adium?
Adium?
Just some kind of Adderall joke.
Is this a pun?
No, it's the God Metal and Mistborn. Come on, guys.
Oh.
Read some fantasy books.
Is that I only read
Very
nonfiction
niche.
and Kurt Vonnegut.
Yeah,
Very
well, it's
niche
chemistry. I want
jokes.
NFTs to be easy again. It was so easy to make
Gains.
gains for a while. Huh? Yeah, and that's true. That's true of the entire market. But you got to learn, right? It's got to be hard every once in a while. You need a challenge. If it was easy all the time, we'd get bored. We'd all, we'd probably all be dead by now if it was easy all the time. We'd be, doing crazy stuff.
What is
Trump
this Trump
pro
pro
crypto?
Yeah,
No.
where
He's
did that
not.
come
Not-
from?
not really.
Why does everyone all of a sudden think that Trump is pro crypto? I don't understand.
Ben tweeted something about that. It's okay. Riddled with puns, and I'm sure Chemistry Bro likes your jokes too, BJ. But Ben tweeted
I'm
he heard he
building an army.
might he be changing his stance on crypto. I mean, he's gonna
He
have
won't.
to. He's gonna have to, I think, to even stand a chance. But guys, don't put too much energy in this. I do not think. I have a feeling he won't be running by the time we get to the ballots. I don't think he's gonna win the primaries, and this is all just.
The big money's moving away
Don't
from
be
him.
distracted.
The RNC isn't going to pay for it. Their bargaining chip is we're no longer going to pay for your legal fees. And
We
if-
think it's going to be DeSantis.
Yeah.
That's our push.
Yep, DeSantis coin 1000x.
Just don't be
Not financial
distracted.
advice.
Yeah, don't be distracted. We're in it for the money.
DeSantis is pro crypto.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very
Yeah,
pro crypto,
Florida.
and it will 1000x. I'm not saying you should buy it. I'm just saying it's going to do it.
I'm voting
Foxman
for
2014. Go ahead.
I was saying, I'm voting for Uncle Charles.
Uncle Charles.
House- for
Charlie
president.
coin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I vote for Bitcoin. That's anytime when it comes to politics, I vote for exiting the money supply of the US dollar. I vote for a free money system. I vote for personal rights and freedom. That's where I stand.
I do
And
all
the only
those
thing
things.
holds that is Bitcoin.
Wait, can we do that in politics? That sounds great.
Yes.
I like
That
that.
sounds great.
You don't need politics when you have Bitcoin.
Hell yeah. Put that on a shirt.
Yeah, there you go. How many bear markets have you guys been through now? Foxman 2014. This is my second full one.
Yeah.
I think pretty much everybody 2 or
No, it's my first.
1 or 2. Yeah, most in the building 1 or 2. I mean, you're gonna have to go pretty far back to find people that went through the what would it be 16.
My first one though was, I mean, I was singing heavy metal, so I mean, it was just an account I had.
You were already angry. Who cares?
Yeah, I was already getting after it. So I and it was I was just a homeless musician.
Second for Manowar. Yeah, I think a lot of people in their second, which makes sense. You know, a lot of the people that are on their second, they're the ones really excited about this opportunity. They're the ones that don't have the fear that it's not going to return.
Mm-hmm.
They're not necessarily looking through, sitting through this for the entire time. So this is an interesting chart. This is something Drew mentioned at the beginning, the credit situation that we have going on here in the United States. We've got personal savings versus credit card debt. For those of you who haven't seen this, this red line here is credit card debt. Yeah, it's not good. It's ugly.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's not good?
Yeah, it's whoa.
Oh, I thought that was good.
Yeah, so here's
somebody.
savings, which this is really interesting to me. You're looking here at, this is December 2019, and that's when a lot of this stuff about the pandemic was really starting to get circulated, and there was a lot of fear. So the consumers, obviously, everybody started like, wait, hold on to your money. Who knows what's going to happen? We might be losing jobs. We might be like, nobody knows what's going on.
At the perfect time to buy Bitcoin.
They literally couldn't spend their money too.
Yep.
Everyone was locked down.
Yep.
Yeah, it's true. There was nowhere to spend your money. Like, so if you like to go out to eat, if you like to do whatever, you couldn't do it. So we saw savings run up dramatically. This looks like March 2020, maybe
That's
April, and then just falls off. Oh, look, we're all safe. Everything's fine. You know, they're going to just send us free money. There's nothing to worry about. Just spend all through 2020. I think this marks these two spikes here, I think, are stimulus checks.
Yep. The stimulus packages, they were trying to continue.
Almost everybody, and this might be a little bit of stimulus money in here as well, but most general consumers are paycheck to paycheck. So if you don't have a lot of money in your bank account, getting a $1,400 will create something like a spike like this. I know some people got more than that, just roughly speaking. You know, a few $1,000s is all it takes to really spike this up. But what was interesting to me was people were they were using all this free money to pay off debt and pay off credit cards and pay things down.
Pretty smart.
Which is great. You know, another spike, boom, things pay down. And then I think really mid 2021 is when you started to see that inflation.
DJ, is it possible to move us to the top left?
I can't, but I can push this in.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
I can also make us go away temporarily.
Yeah, you can hide us, Jen. Yeah, just if you pull us down for just a second so they can kind of see this bottom.
This is a looker. This is a looker.
This is quite the chart here.
This is a looker.
I'm pulling it. I also like Smokey saying your liabilities are someone's assets.
Yep.
So it's a nice way of putting it.
That's a great way to put it.
What is that creepy face on the side?
I don't know.
You'll own nothing.
It's one of those.
That's the World Economic Forum guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
is it?
It is. Look at him. He's right there.
See, look, he's lurking over there. You're gonna own nothing, and you're gonna be happy.
See,
That's what you're gonna look like.
This picture is worth 50,000 words.
Yes.
Right here. If you just like
this is the World
in.
Economic Forum in one graph.
Yeah.
Personal savings versus credit cards. So that, again, fascinating. It looks like people are doing smart things. They're eliminating debt. And then right here around May 2021.
F it.
Yeah. Well, I think we saw inflation kick in and people started to hit their breaking point where they needed to wipe out their savings now to live. And then those savings got wiped out. It's like, all right, well, I guess I got to put it on a credit card.
Yeah.
You know,
We're not stopping going to Ruby Tuesday, damn it.
I believe also that June 2021 timeframe is when a lot of corporate businesses realized that Zoom operations were no longer going to work. And they required a lot of people to come back to work. And if people weren't quite ready for that re-entry into reality here.
I'm not going to not pay $8 for a Starbucks.
Look at that.
Well, that's what kills me is like so many of these things just need to be eliminated. But
yeah.
But here we are now. Savings down here. Here we are, September.
It's just
what is the 3.1? I don't understand what these numbers are.
Where's
personal
the
savings rate versus credit card? Is it $3.1 to debt? Like I don't know what the numbers mean. Like,
I don't know what this 3.1 means either. Somebody did ask what was 2020
debt change R2.
Here, pull us back up and we can do some Googling real quick.
Maybe the rate is like generally maybe 3% of what people have is.
Yeah, I would love to
in
know
their
what,
savings
what
versus
the actual metric
like
is.
1,000. I guess I don't know. That didn't really make sense.
Yeah.
If the other number is
Savings
1,000,
rate.
not really a percentage.
Yeah. I think it might mean
Amount of money
you're
over
able
time.
to, you have to spend 3 and you save 1 type ratio,
Yeah, I was
3 to
thinking it's
1
like
ratio.
a 1 to, but then the red line is like insane. It was like in the thousands.
Their overall debt.
It can't be their overall debt because most people are more. If they have credit card debt, they have like tens of thousands of dollars in credit card debt.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I mean,
no, that's not good.
just the overall the overall movement of the graph is super, super bad for. I mean, obviously Americans, but people like middle class and lower class in general. Because if you look at how families and people were able to operate in the 80s, it was generally without credit cards, and one earner households were still a thing.
Yep.
The 90s, one earner households started to go away. You see 2 earner households with a pretty much flatline credit debt.
Yep.
Now we have 2 earner households surviving off of credit card debt, and savings is being crushed. So if you quantify all those things together, it tells me that we won't have a middle class.
It's all going according to plan.
Yeah. We won't have
Fortunately,
a
it
middle
is.
class
It's
at
going
this
right to the
rate.
World Economic Forum's plan. And you're right. Like, this is scary, this graph here, because it's not a result of overspending. A lot of this is just survival. Everybody's just trying to survive right in this range, and this
I don't know if that's true though. I will push it back against that narrative. I think it's some of it's survival, but I think a lot of it is just bad habits, and
Well, it's
people
what they're used
refuse.
to.
Yeah.
People refuse to take a hit to their living standard.
Well, it comes back to because I think very clearly, I don't think these are elaborate vacations. I think this is the difference of food supply,
It's
gases,
rent.
rent going up, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Now, but I do agree, it kind of is what Drew was talking about, where when you've got a society that's used to living a certain way, and that I think that's I'm done with this graph. That's the issue.
Also, quick thing to point out. I mean, I don't have a great answer for this, but Riddled with Puns points out there are 2 y-axes. So, like, I kind of would like to see this graph done in a slightly different way to make it a little bit more clear.
I'm going to dig into this graph.
Yeah, I want to know too. I know I just grabbed it because I've seen a lot of stuff
good,
about credit card debt going up and savings going down. I thought it did well, but I would like to understand it a little bit better.
Well, this graph is why I yap to Bitcoin. Oh, the people that'll listen to me. It's like, regular people are going to be crushed in 20 or 30 years if they're not involved with some disruptive technology or some good moves in biotech or blockchain or something that's going to be here and advancing in 10 or 20 years. You got to find a way above what's going on to average people right now.
Like, did anybody talk about all the new research that Dr. Sinclair just dumped?
No.
So I'm hoping, I've been talking to a couple of DeSci guys and trying to start maybe doing more channels on this, talking about like decentralized science and funding. But the TLDR on Dr. Sinclair's, he's been doing a lot of stuff with nicotide amide riboside, so NAD
Aging.
supplementations.
He does a
aging,
lot
and
of
everything
aging
else.
stuff.
But they've been doing a lot of stuff with specifically making essentially petri dish brains and then doing epigenetic modulation. So basically turning on certain sequences and turning off certain ones and showing reversal of aging within brains. They've been doing a lot of stuff with mice, but a lot of this research is like heavily starting to exponentially move forward, and him and Shinya Yamanaka. So like we are going to see a lot of cool things, but it is interesting of all the macroeconomic things that we're talking about right now when there's huge advancements happening in longevity of life and the ability to feed everybody, but like that's all getting brushed to the side. And we're like, oh, it's chaos. Everything's bad, when it's like a pseudo utopian life is kind of happening, but we're not talking about it.
It might be specific to one class of people by the time it's ready, though.
Oh, like they would gatekeep?
Never.
Even though a lot of these
Never.
restriction and guide RNAs you can buy online from Thermo Fisher for $14 and do basically basement biohacking.
Yeah, it's Riddle with Pun said, my credit card debt is from my dog developing diabetes and not wanting to sell my crypto in the bear market to pay for the vet bills. And I think there's a lot of that kind of stuff. And it was basically, it's the slide. Like, you're not going to feel that inflation stuff overnight. There's a reason it worked that way in the 80s and you could operate on a one household income back then because we were much closer to the gold standard. We were off of it at that point, but we were still closer than we are today. And the inflation isn't, like, they doubled the money supply in the last few years. Like, we're just now feeling that impact. Like, it was happening in 2020 and 2021, but in 2022 is when we felt it. And so that's what's a little scary to me. The job market's going to be tough. they're calling for a recession next year. This is another big thing that a lot of people don't realize is there was a lot of retirements in 2021 because portfolios were at all-time highs.
Yep.
Those portfolios are wrecked right now, and those people are like, oh, I might need to unretire. I don't know if I can retire anymore because my wealth is at 40% of what it was this time last year. So there's a lot of craziness in the markets out there right now, but I do want to encourage you guys. It does feel like we're close to a bottom, not price-wise, not time-wise. It's, if we do go sideways or a whole lot of nothing for most of next year, it's going to get boring, but that's your time to accumulate. I would say save now, build up your cash, build up your stack.
Yep.
If there's any, a lot of people around here, the office are talking about, hey, you got an extra car, you're doing some extra odd job. What are random different ways you can do to save money, to make up a little bit of extra money so you can buy good assets at the absolute bottom? Because like Drew said, if you don't have assets in today's reality, you're going to get left behind. The divide between the haves and the have-nots is growing exponentially year over year. So if you can't get on the other side of that fence, it's going to get harder and harder and harder as time goes on. So that's what we talk about a lot here. Obviously, we have a lot of different channels. Follow BitBoy Crypto, Blockchain Basement, Around the Blockchain. We get a lot of really interesting conversations like that.
I have a channel now.
Yeah, what's the name of your channel?
Prepper Crypto.
Prepper.
Oh my
Come learn about
Crypto.
shooting guns, stacking satoshis, and taking care of chicken.
Appreciate it.
Reading this.
I am actually so committed to the crypto lifestyle and to digital assets. I sold my Bronco for profit to accumulate and reduce my monthly expenditures. Like
Nice.
that's how into it, and that's how much of a believer I am. And I waited 2 years. I waited 4 years for the Bronco to have pre-orders, and I ordered it the day it came out for orders, and I waited 1.5 years for my Bronco to show up. I drove it for a year, and I sold it, and I made like a lot of money off of it, but basically blew away my credit card debt. That's how committed I am to crypto, to Bitcoin, digital assets, because I know like there's no Social Security coming down the line. That's broke. It's been broke for a while.
Yeah.
It's never going to come back. And there's the headwinds against holding cash is just so ridiculous. It's stupid to hold cash long term. Dumb.
Also, just because I see riddled with puns talking about this, somebody's trying to cheap out and buy a ledger. If it's too expensive to buy, we literally have a video I did on Hit Network from a while ago. You buy Raspberry Pi, $34, a screen, $11, build your own. Like if you're trying to be cheap, the cheap way is not buying one that potentially opened, because you're going to learn real quickly that somebody put something on there. And you just don't want to do that.
Do not ever buy a hardware wallet secondhand, period. I don't care if it's your best friend. Just don't do it. You never know. If it's open, there's just it defeats the entire purpose. The whole reason you're buying a hardware wallet is to mitigate risk. Could be any greater risk than getting it secondhand. So just like that, I don't understand that.
If you need $80, sell some feet pics, my guy.
Yeah.
If
don't
you
buy
only
Starbucks for 2 days.
Yeah, if you don't have $80, you probably don't need a hardware wallet. Just say,
Yeah, if you need $80 and you can't find it, you need to evaluate your expenses in your life and then buy crypto later. Like
that being said, Ledger is running a deal right now, Black Friday. I think it's already started, but
yes, it has.
Yeah, check it out. I did get an email on that. So we're pretty much done on time for today. Always love hanging out with you guys. We have some other things we have to take care of. We will be back tomorrow. I had this thing about Silvergate I was going to dig into a little bit more. I'll pull it up right now just for a little teaser for you guys. This is what we'll start. We'll start the conversation with this tomorrow, talking about it. Silvergate, let's see, down 46% over the last month. You want to pull this up?
DJ?
Yeah, I will. But sorry, I have somebody saying we're wrong. They can reset the seed. Yeah, and there can literally be some kind of snooping program in there that you don't.
Yeah, even if you factory reset it, there's still stuff that can be
There's
done.
Command line. There's ways to do dual partitions. There's
keyloggers.
So their stock has dropped 46% over the last month, even though not that much dramatic has happened with the Bitcoin price. Here is kind of the contagion effect a lot of people might be referring to. You've got this; these are their clients: Coinbase, FTX, Circle, which is USDC, Bitstamp, Kraken, Gemini, Paxos, which is a lot of the other stable coins, Crypto.com. So if this goes, this is crypto, basically. This is how crypto gets from dollars to digital assets. And if this goes down, we got a big problem. Big problem. And so we'll talk about that tomorrow. As always, love hanging out with you guys. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Blockchain Basement. Make sure to
Say hi
check
to
out all
Rivers
of our
View
other
Crypto.
stuff.
First
What's that?
viewer. Rivers
First new
View
view?
Crypto. New
Oh,
viewer.
hey.
Thanks for coming.
In love this show, leading right off the bat, BitBoy Crypto Show. Yeah, this is the after show. Obviously, watch the morning show, watch everything else we do. And if you guys are seeing this after the fact, it's live on Twitch Monday through Friday. Jump in here, ask us questions. We love hanging out with you guys.
Who are rating?
We are rating. I don't know who's on.
Is Webby
Is
on?
Hit Gaming on?
They definitely are, and I'm set up for that.
Okay, we can do that. Or anybody like you guys. Yeah, let's go Hit Gaming. Guys, if you like video games, we're going to be rating the guys just on the other side of this wall. I'm looking at them right now.
Wow.
They like to play video. I don't know what they're playing today. Do you know what they're
COD.
playing, BJ?
I think
It
COD.
looks like some fresh baked cod.
Fresh baked Call of Duty Warzone. So yeah, hang out with them, ask them crypto questions. I know some of you guys were hanging out with them last Friday, watching them struggle to get Frank into the stream. He said it was hilarious, but they got technical difficulty after technical difficulty. So
Yikes.
hang out with them. We love you guys.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Have a great day.
Stay safe out there. Stay off exchanges. Don't lose your crypto. Make gains. Invest in yourself.
Ooh woo.
Bye bye.
GPU mine.